Welcome to the Deep Dive Sports Desk. We are live, bringing you a full breakdown of the COPACCHAI Super July Challenge Cup knockouts. And wow, what a tournament. This wasn't just, playing games. It was pure drama, some massive upsets, and finishes that were just championship level, kept us right on the edge of our seats. Today, we're not just looking at score sheets. Nope. We're going deep. We're dissecting the tactics, those game-changing moments, and the stories behind the teams. Dharmendra Karube, Buyu, they really made headlines. So get ready for a proper deep dive into the highlights because, honestly, this one had absolutely everything.
It certainly did. Our mission today really is to unpack the most crucial bits from both the men's and women's Central Challenge Cups. We'll look at why certain teams won, the strategies that worked or, didn't, and what these results mean going forward, especially with those Elite Cup spots up for grabs next year. What's always fascinating with knockout football, I think, is that sheer unpredictability. But there's always something under the surface, some pattern or choice that's worth exploring.
Absolutely. That unpredictability, it sets the perfect tone. So let's jump straight into the Men's Central Challenge Cup first, because the semifinals, they kicked off with some truly stunning results right away. First up, we had Nacional de Gara, you know them, one of the biggest spenders in COPACCHAI history, always splashing the cash against Pro Gamma, and what a match. The first half was electric, ended 2-1 for Pro Gamma. Then National, despite all that investment, they just couldn't turn it around. A goal each in the second half, and Pro Gamma sealed their spot. A huge upset, really.
It really makes you ask that question, doesn't it? Does a big budget automatically mean success on the pitch? Well, clearly not here. Pro Gamma beating Nacional wasn't just about luck or holding on. It was fundamentally about their tactical execution. They used this really compact 4-4-2, didn't they? And it completely nullified National's creative players in the middle, just choked the space. It forced National wide into these predictable attacks, and Pro Gamma's defenders, they just dealt with it. It really shows how a smart plan and teamwork can sometimes beat pure star power.
Yeah, you could really see that discipline. Then, the other semifinal, Olympico Intercontinental, another team, former big spender, now apparently rebuilding. They were up against Satahu. That game was tighter, especially early on, but Satahu, they found another gear in the second half, 2 crucial goals, and bang, they booked their place in the final. Showed real maturity to close it out.
And if you look at the bigger picture, connecting the dots, these results were a massive blow for Dharmendra Karube, right? They were seen as the big favorites, maybe expected one of their teams to go all the way, and suddenly both are out. But on the flip side, what a moment for Bai, both finalists from their region. A proper national showdown in the final. Huge statement.
So the stage was set for the men's final, 2 Bayou teams head-to-head. Satahu, with all that history, the most titles in their country, versus Pro Gamma, who had that recent final experience from 2023, even though they lost that one. It created this great narrative, didn't it? Experience versus legacy. Was Pro Gamma's tactical know-how finally going to get them over the line, or would Satahu's winning tradition prevail?
And maybe that experience, that taste of a final, actually did make the difference when it really mattered. The absolute turning point, I think everyone agrees, came in the 53rd minute. Satahu's defensive midfielder, Sri Kunye, red card, a really bad tackle inside the box. And crucially, it was also a penalty. Pro Gamma striker stepped up, cool as you like, converted it, 2-0. That moment just changed everything. Satahu relied on pressing high right, but now a man down, 2-0 down. They had to completely rethink their approach.
But you have to give Satahu massive credit. They showed an incredible fight, didn't they? Even scored later on, despite being down to 10 men. That says a lot about their character.
It really does. But Pro Gamma, they didn't panic, showed real poise, adapted their tactics, used the extra man well, controlled the ball more. And then they responded with another goal to seal it.
And the final whistle goes. Pro Gamma wins 3-1. Just a massive, massive win for them. Trophy in the cabinet, yes. But also, they've secured their first ever spot in the Elite Cup next year. What a journey. What a story for them and for Bayou football.
Absolutely fantastic achievement for Pro Gamma. A real breakthrough.
Okay, so if the Men's Cup gave us underdogs and tactical masterclasses, let's switch gears to the Women's Central Challenge Cup. It had a slightly different feel, but definitely no shortage of excitement and drama. The semis kicked off with the favorites, Preparatoria from Dharmendra Karube, taking on Gura as a GDI, also from Dharmendra Karube, and this one. Pretty straightforward, really. A clear 2-0 win for Preparatoria. They were just dominant. Their attack was relentless. I mean, they peppered GDI's goal 12 shots. They kept creating these overlaps, 2v1s out wide, really fluid stuff. GDI, meanwhile, they managed just one shot on target all game. Taylor Raposo, the keeper, easy save. It was just a display of pure attacking strength and solid defense from Preparatoria.
Yeah, Preparatoria really underlined why everyone fancied them. It wasn't just reputation, they showed it on the pitch. That offensive pressure combined with how solid they looked at the back, it sent a very clear message, didn't it, to whoever they'd face in the final?
Yeah.
They looked determined, like a machine.
You could really sense that power. Now, the other semifinal, that was something else. San Giulia do Vigna from Darmendra Karube against Sisha from Bru. The score, also 2-0, but the story, completely different. San Giulia, okay, they had more of the ball, control possession a bit more, but that opening goal, it didn't come till the 78th minute. And get this, it was an own goal. A really stunning, unexpected moment. Sisha's left winger, Kaushika Vadi, trying to clear a corner under pressure, puts it in her own net. Then San Giulia added another late on, in injury time, just knocked the wind out of Sisha completely.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how one single moment, especially that late in the game, can just flip everything. Kaushika Vadi, she's under huge pressure, attacker closing in, probably takes her eye off it, tries to clear with her weaker foot maybe, and it's a disaster. That split-second decision, magnified by the stage of the game, it just deflated Sisha, and San Giulia get the lead without really having to carve them open conventionally. It shows the pressure, the tiny margins in these knockouts.
That moment really was the game changer. So this set up an all Darmendra Karube final. Preparatoria, the powerhouse, against San Giulia do Vigna, who got there through resilience and, well, that bit of luck. Preparatoria were still seen as slight favorites, and it looked like going to script when their captain, the left back Yara Leo, scored a beauty in the 22nd minute, 1-0. Seemed like they were on their way.
But football rarely follows the script perfectly, does it? The second half, completely different story. A real testament to San Giulia's character, their ability to just grab the game. Right after halftime, bang. Olivia Tello, San Giulia's striker, gets the equalizer. Great positioning. And then just 10 minutes later, another chance for Tello, maybe a bit of a defensive slip from Preparatoria, and she buries it. 2-1 to San Giulia, just like that. A super quick turnaround. It completely flipped the script. Preparatoria looks stunned.
Yeah, suddenly Preparatoria were the ones chasing the game, getting desperate. They threw everything forward, wave after wave of attacks. And San Giulia's defense, you have to say, they bent but didn't break. There were definitely a few Nuri moments, mistakes that kept their fans on the edge of their seats, heart and mouth stuff. But Preparatoria just couldn't find that final ball, that crucial equalizer. They just couldn't capitalize.
Incredible defending under pressure at times. Real backs to the wall stuff.
And that was it. The final whistle blew. The title and that all-important ticket to next year's Women's Elite Cup goes to San Giulia do Vigna. What a fantastic achievement for them. Shows that even against a team that looks dominant, if you're resilient, if you take your chances, you can win the biggest prizes.
A truly remarkable win. Really highlights the drama of cup football.
So, what a couple of tournaments. Just a roller coaster, wasn't it? Emotions flying, tactical battles, pure grit from the players in both the men's and women's COPACCHAI Super July Challenge Cups. We saw those massive upsets, incredible individual moments, and national pride really on the line between Darmendra Karube and Bai. It just proves again how wonderfully unpredictable knockout football can be. Every moment counts.
Exactly. And when you dive deep into the details, the numbers, the key moments, it really highlights how incredibly fine the margins are at this top level. Teams can pour in money, build these amazing legacies, look totally dominant on paper. But often, it boils down to single moments. A flash of brilliance, or maybe a critical mistake, that decides who lifts the trophy. Which I suppose leaves us with a question for you, the listener, to think about. In these really high-stakes games, what ultimately matters more? Is it the team's long-term plan, the big investment, the history, or is it about that in-game resilience, the tactile flexibility, the ability to handle pressure and grab those key moments when they arrive?
That is a good question. One for the ages, maybe. And definitely worth thinking about long after the celebrations have died down. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the COPACCHAI Super July Challenge Cup knockouts. What a ride. Until next time, keep digging deeper into what makes this beautiful game just so captivating.